Well, I figured it's time to do a July update. Looks like the Araza just fell off. I put the bag on it this morning. Glad I did. Um, but I'll just let that sit there for a bit. But yeah, so not too much crazy going on here. Things are growing. There's the Coronata Asucana, my biggest one. Um, we've been getting some rain, which helps a little bit. Things are definitely greener because of that. It doesn't take much rain in Florida for things to kind of take off, but still need a little bit more. It's still very dry here, and then we're still under a drought. We're in effectively a drought for. I think we need like 20 or 30 more inches of rain, and like we're just not getting a lot. Like we get it here, you get it here regularly, but it's only isolated to specific areas. So even though it's been raining a lot for some and none for others, like overall it's not really that much anyways. So, but fortunately I have a hose and I can keep everything watered. But yeah, so kind of new things. Picked up this Achacha from Troy's Tropics. It's listed as $90, but there was a sale going on, and they had like a sale on top of a sale or something, and that's like a nearly 5 foot tall Achacha. Got it for $58, so I couldn't pass that up. Puts me up at 3. This one's almost as big as the one that I have in the ground out there. In terms of height, it's got really nice density to it. The one over there is a little bit more, a little bit more lanky. Let's zoom in on it from inside here. Right there, she is. It's quite a bit taller. The trunk on that one, I think, is probably twice as thick too. But the density on this one's a lot better. Probably because it's been in a pot and taken care of a little better in the pot than the one that's seen freezes and hurricanes has, right? But anyways, we'll go through, look at some of the jabos. Got a lot of fruit I need to pick on this guy. This is the red, and it's starting to flower again while there's fruit on it. Same with this guy. This is the one that is red question mark. It's making these little runty fruits. I think I need to fertilize, and it might need to be potted up. So what else? This grafted Coronata 2 is pushing out a whole bunch of growth. It looks really good. I'm trying to get it to grow out more this way because it kind of went that way more. I've got this grafted Paulista from Flying Fox Fruits. One thing I thought was kind of funny actually is I noticed that if you're looking at Paulistas on Adam's website, the picture of the grafted Paulista is actually this tree. So if you can kind of see how it's grafted, it kind of goes up and then out that way. So yeah, that was something I like looked at the website the other day and noticed that. Kind of cool. But it's doing very well. I'm trying to get it to grow more this way, but it definitely wants to go that way. So I'm sure it'll balance itself out over time. But yeah, it's doing quite good. I don't see any flowers on it yet, so I'm sure we'll get there eventually. I've got a Myrcearia. Oh god, I can't remember the scientific name. This is the blue jabo. There's one fruit on the blue jabo. It's starting to swell up little by little. So I'll finally get to taste that. The Campo Ramon, I potted it up recently because it had like been drying out. You can kind of see some of the leaves at the top. And this might be from the cold too, because I had it out on the lanai during one of the cold nights. I might not have liked that. But it looks kind of pathetic, but I potted it up and then it started pushing out a whole bunch of new growth. And then, of course, the aphids came in and the ants are farming them, so I keep hitting it with the hose to keep that down. And then I've also been building out these little, like, cinder block things to put my plants on. I've found that, like, keeping stuff on the ground is not really great because they get, like, pretty mucky. I feel like the airflow is not as good on the ground, so lifting them up on here, and these are cedar planks, I guess we'd call this a bench, right? Costs like, what, $2 for each of the cinder blocks, and then the cedar planks are like, I think like $8 each or something like that, maybe $10. So the whole thing costs like $30 for a bench or something like that. I think I've got one, two, like 4 cedar planks. Those are about 10-foot planks as well. So I've got another one I built out back just to keep everything up off the ground because the worms get in them. That's kind of like the main thing. It just gets so mucky. Let's see. What else? Yep, got some scarlet fruit on here that we got to eat. Potted up a whole bunch of my pepper plants. We got these Suriname cherries growing. I got this grafted Suriname cherry here. Seems to be doing pretty good. Actually, all the grafts took that I did. And then I've also got all these mulberries. So we've got what, 4 Seasons. I took some cuttings off of my Astero Giant, which is basically a Thais. Got like a Pakistani. Got the Frank, and God, what was the other one? Black Prince, which is right here. Frank here, Black Prince. Not Pakistani, sorry, Himalayan. That's the Himalayan from Steve Murray's tree. Yeah, so we're growing all these out. These ones won't die in the cold. Now I wouldn't put any of them in the ground other than the Thais / Astero Giant, because I'm pretty sure they're all susceptible to the nematodes. So mileage may vary depending on where you're at in Florida. I know I've put a Thai dwarf in the ground before, or the everbearing, and it just got destroyed. Like, it was over there. If you go back and look at my older videos, like, it popped in the ground, it grew for a little bit, made a little bit of fruit, and then it just died. Pretty sure that was nematodes. Now I've got the Thais / Astero Giant over there. Let's get closer and look at it, and it has no problems. Like, it's just powering through it. So definitely, you know, there's a reason for using them as rootstock here, and that's what I've been kind of doing. I've been chopping leaves or branches off, preparing them for rooted cuttings. I'm trying an air layer on this lower one. We'll see how that works out. And I've also grafted a couple of the cuttings that I got. So I believe this is Frank. This is also Frank, and this is the Himalayan. Didn't do a great job on grafting, but like, grafting these is kind of weird. It's like when you cut into the wood, it's like cutting into styrofoam. I think I mentioned that in another video. I think actually, yeah, I showed this. So that was interesting. I'll have to, I think it would probably be easier using a thicker branch for doing grafting on the mulberries, but you know, we used all the material, so I'm not upset about it. Yeah, even like the little tiny branches that I cut off of here, I'm trying to root them too, so we'll see where we end up. Oh, what else is going on? Got my little pumpkin down here growing. This is the Seminole pumpkin. I've seen a couple of male flowers, but not many female flowers, if at all. So it's kind of struggling to grow over here for whatever reason. Maybe the soil is just still not built up enough. But we shall see if we get fruit. If not, I'll just grow seeds, because grow from seed next time, because I've got like a huge pumpkin out front that planted itself, and it's not the Seminole. It's like an actual like Halloween pumpkin. And I've got some big old pumpkins on there, and it's going crazy, so it likes that spot. So we'll probably try planting the Seminole over there next year. But these ice cream beans are doing good. This is the Vulpina. That's one of my Veras over there. I'm trying to get them to grow over here instead of these, like, whatever the heck these are. They're like some kind of crepe myrtle or something. I don't think it's crepe myrtle. There is a crepe myrtle over there, which it kind of looks like a Grimmel Jabo. But I don't really want it back here. I want other things to grow. Yeah, there's the crepe myrtle right there. So I don't know what these are. Maybe they're like suckers off of this tree or something else. But I just keep cutting them back. It's good chop and drop, I guess. sure eventually once the ice cream beans start shading them out, they'll be fine. But yeah, here's the seashore mangosteens. They're doing pretty good. They just flushed out some growth, but the drought has been pretty hard on them. Like they get a little burnt up from the sun too, like in a combination with like the drought and the heat and all that. But they're still looking pretty good. Like I don't do much for them. So they were looking pretty droopy the other day, but we did get some heavy rain over the weekend, if I recall. It doesn't take much. Let's see. Oh yeah, over here, I think I did a video on this too. Underneath the star fruit, which is looking great now, by the way. You can't even tell. I mean, you can tell that it got frozen back, but you wouldn't know that it was frozen back. It just looks like I pruned it, right? It's doing fantastic. But I put the Luke's Garcinias down here. So that's an orangey, I think that's a jumbo sugar. And this orangey is already starting to push out new growth. Let's zoom in on that. See that? So they really like this spot. It's like, dappled light pretty much all day. Kind of my thought is like eventually they'll grow out above this star fruit. Garcinia, they can pretty much grow in full shade and they'll fruit in full shade too. Might take them a little longer, but I think it's probably better for them too, because pretty much everything over here during the freeze, even like these bananas, like they didn't melt back down to the ground. So I feel like that's a good spot for a mangosteen. Yeah, it's very protected over there. But here's my Cambuca, starting to push out new growth. Looks amazing. Like this tree is just doing so well. Like it really appreciates this spot. And you got some bark peeling off up and down the whole thing. I expect this thing, look at that. What was that? It'll probably jump out. You see the length in the branches here. That was about 2.5 inches, 3 inches of gap. So like these are they look droopy now, but they'll go, it'll probably be about that much taller. And that's putting it at the 4-foot mark, easy. So we're gonna be between 4 and 5 feet on this thing this year, and I'm sure it just gets exponential. Let's see, red Jabo in ground looking good. This was unprotected during the freeze. So we got a lot of stuff on a lot of flowers on the cacao still, but no fruit yet. But this thing just flowers all the time. Here's the other bench. I've just got a bunch of scraggly red Jabos over here that I'm trying to keep alive, but out of the way at the same time. There's a Cherry of the Rio in here and a Batomba thing. I think these are all Cherry of the Rios. I have to double check. I've got a Grimmy-Chamba over here and a Loquat and some Suriname cherries too. So I actually need to hit this with a hose. They're looking a little dry. But yeah, these little benches is really nice for organizing everything. Let's see, there's an okra that's doing pretty good right here. The dragon fruit, I moved it over here, and ever since I moved it over here, it's been doing really well. We got 2 little tiny fruits off of it earlier in the year. It's been flowering kind of like on and off ever since I moved it. It's been raining. I hit it with some fertilizer, kind of refilled the soil up top. Yeah, and here's a ghost pepper too. This was unprotected during the freeze, and you can kind of see where it was before, and then it died back down to pretty low to the ground. It's come back and it's fruiting for me, so that's fun. I'll definitely get some seeds off that. The wax jambu's coming back from the roots. This Polycephalum syzygium just kind of pittered off in all the drought and heat we've had. I've still got one more in a pot. Double Mahoy planted here. Here's the Eugenia Burkhartiana in the ground. Looks pretty good. Been pruning this thing back. It was looking pretty. This is the June plum. Like half of it's interesting. The backside towards the fence had basically frozen, and then this front side, you can kind of see if I look down. See where it's like in the back. It's all funky. So I cut it down because there's stuff growing up higher too. So I just cut it down close to where it's growing back from below where it was frozen. and we're gonna see, which one of these branches becomes like the main leader again. And hopefully we'll actually get fruit off of it. But you can see I just chopped and dropped most of it. And actually, even though I've not been getting fruit off of it, I think this tree is actually a really good chop and drop. Like, it's very easy. Like, you can literally break it with your hands and throw it on the floor. So if anything, it's worth having just for that, and it grows real quick, kind of like a papaya. But yeah, this red Jabo is looking good. I didn't protect this one either during the storm. These pigeon peas are going crazy. Red Cuban. Let's see, more okra. Let's see, do we have any Patongatubas on the Patongatuba? I don't think so. It was looking kind of funky during all the drought we had, but it looks great now. I'm sure there's a billion of them on there and I'm just not seeing them yet. Let's go over here. Let's see the giant pumpkin. It's running everywhere. Actually, here it is right here. I don't really want it to go up into this Cherry of the Rio, but I want it to kind of run along the house. But yeah, I'll deal with that later. It's got these little tendrils and it'll vine up a tree easily. Let's see, Patongatuba over here is looking good. No fruit on that. Let me come and take a step back over here. You can see my sweet tart mango is as tall as I am now. Look at all this new growth. Looks good. Sorry about the weed whacker, but yeah, we protected that one really well. Here's the cranberry hibiscus growing in here. Comes back from a seed every year. But look at this pumpkin running through, and then the jackfruit's coming back. So I can get in there and show you what the jackfruit looks like. So it literally died back to the ground. You can kind of see the old trunk there, and it popped out from the side and it's just going up. And lovely. We'll do the front yard real quick. But yeah, so the jackfruit's coming back. This is the sherbet berry here. It's doing pretty well, very drought tolerant. Grimmel's doing fine. It died back on the top a little bit, but it's coming through. Let me pause this for a second. Sorry about that. The guy was blowing air at nothing for like 20 minutes, it seemed like. But we're looking at the Grimmel here. Yeah, so it's doing pretty good. We got fruit off of it after the freeze. But the top died back a little bit, which I'm not really super surprised because it was touching the cloth that I put over it. But it's fine. It'll grow out of that. You can kind of see like the bark where it's like split looking and dying back. The Sabra over here did the same thing. But let me show this pumpkin. It's kind of crazy looking. Look at this guy. It's huge. Just didn't even plant it. Did it all on its own. So yeah, that's cool. The plum did pretty well in terms of producing this year, although it did like break apart, right? Like the branches broke on it. This Trinsiflora Gigante Jabo is doing pretty good. It's getting a little burnt up in the sun, like bleached out. But it's been pretty intense and dry this year, so I'm actually pretty impressed with how well it's been doing. And then like we've got this Jabo here too. This is the Phitrantha Sepucaya, and it's starting to get a little bit bleached out, but this is the old growth on it. And like the new growth down here, not looking as pretty as it could be, but it's making it through. So, it's not, we're not getting a lot of rain. So if it makes it through the summer, looking like this, I'd say it's just going to get stronger every year. Like this Grimmel too does really well in the heat. Like it just gets full afternoon sun. Totally getting wrecked the whole time, right? So they can take it, surprisingly. They just don't look as good. Got a red Jabo down here. These are the ones I planted directly from seeds. I just push seeds in the ground and they're looking really good. Let's see. This finger lime, not doing so hot. This is the one I dug out of the ground out back. The rootstock was trying to grow back on it, but I don't want it to like make the grafted part die back. So I'm gonna keep chopping the rootstock off until maybe the grafted scion dies back, and then I'll just regraft. I took a cutting of that exact tree and rooted it, so I'll be able to regraft itself to itself. But my little figs out front are doing pretty good. This one is a Celeste fig that I took a cutting from. It sort of started to dry out for a bit, and then I potted it up, and now it's starting to grow back. So hopefully we'll get figs off it next year. Did get figs off of the other tree out back, but I'm not sure what kind of fig this is. I'm guessing it's like a brown turkey fig or something. I just picked it up at Tampa Tropical Asian Nursery. I just wanted another fig out here. Then I've got the another variety inside, but this is the Ruby Supreme guava. It has been slowly dying back from the top, closer and closer to this like node here, so you can see where it's like split. Like this side of the tree is alive, which is interesting. Like the side of the tree that was on the opposite side of the wind is what died back, but the side that was, you know, receiving the full brunt of the wind didn't die back. I'm not sure what would cause that, but I'm hoping it's going to grow back like pretty strong from here and stop dying back, because I don't want to have to grow back from the roots. But I'll probably select like, you know, one branch from the roots to let it grow up, and then we'll just no longer use this main trunk as the main branch. Just swap over to one of those new ones. I really like the fruit off of this tree. The only downside with it is, you know, if you get a once in a century freeze, like it dies back. The other, I guess the main thing that's kind of sucks about it, and it's kind of just guavas and fruit in general in Florida, is they get worms in them, and so you have to bag them. But it's not too bad with these, right? You put like 3 or 4 bags on a fruit, you get 3 or 4 pounds of fruit. But for whatever reason, the squirrels like to eat the ones in the bags, so it's just fighting nature for food. Go check this guy out. Speaking of nature, got a little native anole right there. They're so cool. Here's the Sabra that was out front. It's looking pretty good. The Grimmy was coming back. Yeah, these ice cream beans all died down to the roots and are coming back very fast, though, if you notice that. That's about as big as it was whenever it died back. Here's the Near-Sierra cuspidata and a red seedling. This one was also directly sown. These were unprotected during the freeze. The cuspidata didn't even lose a leaf, so take that as you will. It's definitely something you can plant in the ground in Central Florida. The yellow Grimmy died back quite a bit. This one was unprotected completely. Save for I put that little bucket, hoping to like keep it slightly warm around the roots, which I guess it didn't even really need, but died back pretty hard. You know, I was surprised that it died back this bad, considering like the wall was protecting it. But I can't complain. Hopefully it'll come back stronger, but it'd be kind of nice to have it more bushy than tall anyways, since it's up against the house. Let's see, came through here and knocked back a lot of the grass. It was getting pretty tall, but try to keep as many of my little native plants in here as possible while doing that. Just enough to get the weeds, keep them from doing that, basically. They go up. Look at this guy chilling out. What are you doing there? But yeah, so this is a Ross Sapote. I put this in after the freeze, and it's doing pretty good. It's taking the full sun. You can see where I didn't have it out hardened off as well, and it kind of burnt up a little bit. And then here's the new growth after, you know, I figured it could take it without like kind of slowly acclimating it. But yeah, likes that spot. Yeah, breadfruit is hiding in here. So I've let all these pigeon peas grow up just because I feel like it's probably good for the soil over here. Also, I'm going to try to keep these pigeon peas, like hopefully the breadfruit kind of like grows up and above the pigeon peas, but we'll use the pigeon pea for insulation. Right now it's also kind of helping keep the ground around it cooler and, you know, keeping the evaporation of moisture and all that good stuff. But yeah, so the breadfruit is still kicking. I haven't really done an update video on it. It's just, it's there, it's in the ground, it's making leaves, right? Maybe one day we'll get a fruit. If we can get a couple years of a couple warm winters, will be, it's kind of the goal, right? It's definitely not going to be there long term, right? If I can get a fruit off it, that's cool. I just think they're really cool trees. Got it on a whim. This white sapote, I think it's the Campbell's, doing pretty good. It's actually doubled in height since I put it in the ground, and it's taking the full sun. Yeah, I don't water it. When I first got it, I was watering it kind of regularly, but now I'm letting nature water it. It seems to be a pretty, like, you can just set it and forget it, it looks like. So white sapote, Central Florida, get you one for sure. That is a grafted one. Let's see, the fig tree doing fantastic. You know, this has been in the ground. So speaking of nematodes earlier, this has been in the ground for 5 years, I want to say, something close to that. It's not really taking off, so I'm sure, I mean, it's a lot bigger than when I put it in the ground, but it's not growing into a very large tree at a very quick pace. I don't know if it's just the variety or if it really is like truly fighting, you know, the root knot nematodes. And, you know, we get probably about, is there a bug on my arm? No. We probably get about like $50 worth of figs off of this thing every year so far. And so it's already paid for itself. It's a pretty tree. I don't have to do anything for it. I just fertilize it pretty heavily at the beginning of the year, right before it starts fruiting. And it seems to appreciate that. And then I just kind of let it do its thing the rest of the year. But yeah, don't have to water it. Takes the heat. It goes dormant during the freeze, so that's definitely, you know, a good option. Celestial fig for Central Florida. And again, mileage may vary with the nematodes, but they are supposed to be a nematode resistant variety. And then here's my Ichikaki Jiro persimmon. It's a Fuyu type, I believe. I've only got like 3 fruits on it, but yeah, this is the first year it's fruited. So I'm excited to try it out. It's actually quite a big tree. It grew a lot this year. I think the cold must have done something to it. It kind of realized that it needed to start growing. Again, this is another tree that I find it's not fussy. I'm not sure what kind of rootstock it's on. I've heard that you can have issues with like runners with certain rootstocks on these, but it doesn't seem to be an issue with this one. I have had some suckers pop up like early on, but I basically pruned those back and been keeping an eye out, and I've not seen them ever since. So maybe that'll change in the future, but I'm planning on keeping this one small. Like, I probably need to prune this back. Actually, I'll probably let it go to next year, and then once it goes dormant, I'll prune it back. And then we can see what shape we want to turn it into, because I don't want it to grow into the Sabra behind it. I kind of want it to fill in the space over here, which it seems reluctant to do. I don't know why, because there's tons of light on this end. But let's take a look at the Sabra. I suspect that it's going to be flowering soon. I know I've done a lot of videos on this because I see like a bump, and I'm like, oh, is it happening? Is it happening? Kind of more so as a joke, but you know, these days the bumps are, let's see if I can actually get it to focus. The bumps are actually quite convincing. Like, oh my god, hold on, let me get in there. Sorry. Like, look at that guy, for instance, right? Like, there's a couple of bumps that they just look like flowers. I'm pretty certain they're flowers at this point. You know, with the Grimmel, I saw bumps like that on them for months and they didn't do anything. And it took the freeze to actually kickstart it and actually start flowering. And I'm sure it's like a seasonal thing too, right? So I'm still trying to figure that out with the Sabra. But I think we're going to start getting fruit soon. So yay. And it's actually also just kind of like acclimated to this like crazy intensely hot spot. It's pretty much in full sun. It is on the south side of the house, so it is spared the late afternoon sunlight, which is the most potent. But I would say, yeah, from right about now, it's probably got, let's see, what time? Yeah, from right about now, it's been about 45 minutes, I would say, since I've been out here. I accidentally just closed the video. I hit back on accident, so I'm gonna have to stitch this together. But right about now, it's like 10 o'clock. So I would say until about 3 or 4, it's gonna pretty much be getting intense sunlight. So that's about 6 hours, right? Here's some interesting stuff. So I've got a couple of moringa trees here, and you know, they died back in the freeze. Now there was always 2 here, but this is actually coming back from 1 tree. This other one over here, I don't think it's even coming back from the roots. Like, I haven't seen, yeah. So that finally just came off there. But let's look down and see, is anything coming back? I see mushrooms down there. See, I don't know why, but you know, 2 seeds from the same tree. Only 1 of the seedlings survived and came back from the roots. Interesting. Not really sure what happened there. It's okay. It's not hard to find moringa, but you know, these ones are kind of special because it came from my wife's parents' tree in Naples before they moved away, and yeah, so it's a little bit of a special keepsake tree, and we're gonna hopefully have it for a while. Yeah. See what else? The Quaimuc is doing well. Now, I have a couple of concerns with it. Obviously, it looks very healthy right now, but thinking towards the future, one thing I noticed is it has a tendency after the freeze to want to grow on the north side. And a lot of the wood on the south side of the tree is actually dead. So I suppose we'll see how that heals over in the future. I think this branch here has more live wood, like on the cambium layer. But this branch here really did just kind of die back on the south side of the tree. I'm not sure why. I think it's still good down here. So I don't know if trees ever heal back from that. Fortunately, it's not like a jackfruit where it has to hold like crazy big, you know, fruits. They're like little, you know, chicken nugget sized fruits. But yeah, just kind of worried about the overall health of the tree. Maybe I'm worrying for no reason. It looks great. It's actually taller than it was whenever I put it in the greenhouse. And at this point, you know, I'm just gonna let it go. If we get a historic freeze like that again, I'm just gonna let it grow back from the roots, if it dies that far. But hopefully we'll get to try some fruit before then. Ice cream bananas coming in hot. Let's see, Oblongata Jabo doing good. The gin berries are doing good. I know I put another gin berry in the ground next to this gin berry because I thought it died back in the cold, but it did die back. It just dropped its leaves and then grew another branch, so it's fine. So ginberry is cold hardy enough for historic freeze in Florida. Achacha, again, looking great. It's actually, I posted on the forums a little bit ago about kind of like Garcinia lank, and like this one was like leaning down like this, and ever since we started getting rain, it's come back up to being straight. So if you're ever worried about your Garcinia, I think you probably should stake them up. But I don't think you have to. It's probably safer for them if they are staked up, but maybe it's healthier for them to kind of figure it out on their own. I'm not sure. The only thing I've done for this tree is, I mean, obviously I've covered it during like intense cold, and after the hurricane, I just propped it back up with this, and I don't think I need this anymore. Yeah, it's pretty stable now, but I'm just going to keep that on there for now to, you know, make sure it stays up. That said, if we do get a hurricane, I'm going to be taking that off because it's actually better for the tree to be able to bend in the wind. Because if the soil is very saturated and the wind pushes it over, the worst thing that's going to happen is the roots are going to come out of the ground if they don't break. But you really don't want to have it like, you know, staked like that, right? And then when the wind blows, let's say it blows this way, it's going to, all the tension is going to be right there on that point, and it's going to snap. So that's why you really don't want to stake a tree up. If you can keep the wind off of it somehow, that would probably be the best way to do it. But I don't know. I think it's better to let the trees take the wind. And achachas don't like wind. That's another thing. So it's had quite a life. But let's go look over here. Got this Luke's Garcinia growing. The Luke's Row is doing pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, they're all a little sunburnt, but I kind of expected that. You can see this one gets the most sun. How can you tell? Because it's sunburnt pretty bad. So, oh yeah, there's this other achacha in here, which is, it hasn't put out any new growth, but it looks pretty good. It's kind of hiding in the weeds. I'm letting the weeds grow up on purpose to keep the intense sun off of it, but you can see they're pretty dang good. But let's see what else. My passion vine seems to have died back. The cold really was delayed on the damage. Unfortunately, it's not expensive to get another passion vine, so I may get another one. I'm not sure. I kind of don't like vining plants. They're hard to maintain. They just kind of go everywhere. Yeah. I'm sure there's other things I'm forgetting. This Katuk is taking over everywhere in here too. So be wary of Katuk. It will spread like wildfire, but it makes a good chop and drop. Oh, last thing I'll end on is this. So I've got another avocado tree, and got it same time I got the new achacha from Troy's Tropics because it was on sale. I've been thinking about getting one of these for a while, but I just didn't want to go out of my way to get it. This is a Marcus Pumpkin. Makes a very, very large avocado, definitely an heirloom variety. But I wanted something to fill in the spot where this Barbados cherry was at, which died back pretty bad. So planted it right next to the Barbados cherry. The idea was to have, like, as you're walking through the path back here, you're walking under a canopy, right? So I figured this is probably a more hardy tree. You know, I know it's not like a cold hardy avocado, but avocados are more cold hardy than other trees. Like even the non-cold hardy avocados in the neighborhood, like they defoliated, but they've come back already. So they're more hardy than a mango. So it should be fine here for years to come, especially if it gets 10 feet tall. So anyways, we're gonna end on that. But yeah, y'all take care.